It's mailbag time here on the Kansas City Chiefs Report. I'm your host, Harrison Graham. Give me a follow on Twitter. I'm at HGrahamNFL. You can ask me more questions over there. Maybe your question didn't get answered. If it didn't, go ahead and ask me there. Again, it's at HGrahamNFL. We did get a lot of good questions. Can't answer them all, but we'll answer as many as we can. We'll go ahead and get started with Doink Productions, hashtag Chiefs. Do you think we can retain Eric Bieniemy for long enough for him to eventually replace Andy Reid? I like this question a lot, and I will say this. At this point in time, I think anything's possible at this point. I was convinced Eric Bieniemy was going to get a job this offseason after he got snubbed last year, and he got snubbed again. And it doesn't really sound like he advanced that far with any team when it comes to the interview process. I think only one team requested a second interview, and he still didn't get a job. So I don't know what the issue is. I wouldn't rule it out at this point because for whatever reason, other teams aren't hiring him as of now. Now, I will say Andy Reid just signed a new deal last year, signed an extension, him and Brett Veach. I think they're tied together through 2025. So it's not like Andy Reid's looking to step down, but maybe Bieniemy gets to a point where it's like, screw it, I'll just hang around. I'll have fun in Kansas City, and I'll continue to be the offensive coordinator, and then maybe I could take over for Andy Reid. I don't think it's likely. I still think it's more likely he gets another job, but I don't think you can rule it out at this point in time. Doink Productions, I think it's a good question, and I think it's something at least worth mentioning here on the show. Now, if you want that to happen, if you want Eric Bieniemy to eventually replace Andy Reid, type me in the comments section. I would love to see it. I think you guys would as well. So let me know if you want Eric Bieniemy to replace Andy Reid someday, not necessarily now. Go ahead and type me in the comments section. Okay, let's get to our next question here. Sakith Jagadith, let me know if that's how you pronounce it. What do you think about the idea of signing Kenny Golladay? The dude is a playmaker. I have a lot of thoughts, and the main thought, which is disappointing, is he's too expensive. I love Kenny Golladay. I was a big fan of his. Obviously, this past year, he was banged up, but he's just going to cost too much money. There's no way Kansas City is able to sign Kenny Golladay. We'll see if Detroit lets him go. I think he's a prime franchise tag candidate for them, and that's obviously something they'll have to consider as a franchise up in Detroit, but I just don't see how there's any scenario where Kansas City is able to muster up the $15+ million it's going to cost for Kenny Golladay. Now, obviously last year, banged up, only played in 5 games, but was productive in those 5 games. So you're thinking, well, maybe you get him cheap on a cheap 1-year deal. Okay, getting him for cheap is like getting him for like $16 million instead of $20 million. He's still going to cost a whole bunch of money. I don't think it's very likely. I'd love to see it. It'd be fun as hell. I don't know how you'd stop this offense if it happened. That being said, I just think it's the ultimate long shot based on where the Chiefs are and based on just the likelihood of bringing in a guy of his caliber. He's going to want to secure the bag, and that's not going to come from Kansas City. So I'll ask you guys this question. Who will be wide receiver 2 next season? I don't think it's going to be Kenny Golladay. Obviously, Tyreek Hill's wide receiver 1. Sammy Watkins, Demarcus Robinson, both free agents. Is McCole Hardman ready? If you think it's Hardman, type him. Or type a free agent or draft candidate you think could be the number 2 receiver as soon as next year. I want to hear it from you guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Now, we do have some face masks on sale for you guys at chatsports.com/ChiefsMasks. Go ahead and get one of these while they are on sale because they're going to do 2 things for you. They're going to keep you safe, and they're going to keep you warm. It's cold as hell in Texas, which is why we've been doing videos at home because we're iced over, and it's been a power outage situation. It's been a mess, but get a face mask. Stay warm, so when you do go outside, you're safe, you're warm, you're covered, all of that good stuff. Chatsports.com/ChiefsMasks. Cycling through some of the different options, but we have a whole lot more. Chatsports.com/ChiefsMasks. Go ahead and get a Chiefs face covering. Rep your favorite team today. Okay, John Plays here. How do you think the Chiefs will handle their negative salary cap? Well, the way you handle it is the way teams handle it every offseason is, and let me just say a couple things. One, we don't know what the salary cap number for next season is going to be yet. The NFL has not announced that. Free agency gets going, I believe, March 15th, 17th, somewhere in there. Obviously, the NFL has to announce a salary cap number before that time. But they're going to do it the same way they always do. You cut players, you restructure contracts. Stay tuned for a video coming up very, very soon, a salary cap cut candidates video, so stay tuned for that. But there's contracts the Chiefs can move around, they can restructure, they can cut. Those are the ways that you do those type of things. And look, Kansas City's been a team that's spent because they're trying to win Super Bowls year in and year out, which you appreciate, but this is what happens. You have to make some tough decisions, and stay tuned for that video because I'll go through some players the Chiefs could cut to save some money. Now, subscribe to the channel because we have more videos throughout the offseason, like that salary cap cut candidates video, which will be up very, very soon. Either later this week or next week, we will see. Obviously, the ice storm down here is throwing things off a little bit. Daily videos, 100% free. You see the link on your screen. It's youtube.com/ChiefsTV. Don't miss out on any of our coverage because we're going to keep plugging out videos all off season long. Okay, next up, Small Wing Wang is back. Do we try and get a second running back or stay with Damien and Darrell Williams? I think the Chiefs are fine at running back. You've got Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who's going to be your starter moving forward, did some good things. He would have pushed for a 1,000-yard season had he played in all 16 games. Obviously, he got banged up late in the season. And you've got Damien Williams coming back who opted out, and I really like Darrell Williams. I think you can get him back for pretty cheap. I think the Chiefs are fine at running back. Let Le'Veon Bell go. He did not have much of an impact on what this team is doing. CEH, the Williams non-related brothers, I'll call them. There's your 1-2-3 punch. I think you're in plenty good shape. The Chiefs don't really need to invest heavily at the running back position. I think you roll with what you got. You hope Damien Williams is the player he was before, and you're good to go on that front. I don't think running back is any point of emphasis for Kansas City at all this offseason. I want to ask you guys this question, though. Who's the better Williams? Got a lot of D Wills. Darrell or Damien? Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Before this year, you clearly would have said Damien, but he opted out, and Darrell Williams ran pretty well, especially late in the season. So here's what your thoughts are on that. Better Williams for the Kansas City Chiefs. All right, final question here before we sign off on today's mailbag. Dayton Stephanie, let me know. What's your prediction for the next 5 years? Realistically thinking, I'd be happy with one more Super Bowl appearance. I'd be thrilled with one more Super Bowl victory and 11-plus win seasons. This is a good question because obviously the Chiefs have been spoiled the last 3 years with 3 straight AFC Championship games, a Super Bowl, and another Super Bowl appearance. But I don't think it's going to end there. I think the Chiefs will win at least one more Super Bowl over the next 5 years, and a pretty decent chance they'll win 2 or more. Now, it's hard to get there. I'm not going to be here and be like, they're going to win 4 out of 5. That's probably not going to happen. But one ring over the next 5 years, I don't think that's unreasonable to think. I think the Chiefs are in a great position moving forward, and I think a big reason why is because they have the best quarterback in football, and people are going to keep pointing, oh, he came up short in the Super Bowl. Yeah, well, he had, some Target employees trying to block up front for him, so kind of a tough situation, and they still got to the Super Bowl despite the amount of injuries that this team had. I think the Chiefs are going to be fine. I think they're going to be one of the primary contenders over the next several years, not just 5 years, by the way. Patrick Mahomes is going to be here for a long time, as are several of these other players. Like the question, I'll say 1 to 2 Super Bowls over the next 5 years. Could be more, could be less. It's very possible that number is 0 because it is hard to win a Super Bowl in the National Football League. How many Super Bowls do you guys think the Chiefs will win over the next 5 seasons? I'll say 1 or 2. Here's what your guys' thoughts are on that one. Get your votes in, and we'll see you next time.